What's up, everybody? This is Damian G here from Last Mark Standing as well as Indie Pop. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to just converse with you all. A lot of things have been happening in the world of professional wrestling, in the world of sports, in the world in general. And I wanted to take a couple of minutes to just have a conversation with you about where I stand on a lot of things. Now, what I may or may not say may cause some of you listeners of IP and LMS to kind of withdraw, and that's okay because we're human and that's what we're allowed to do as humans to make our own choices. But I'd be remiss if I did not tell you exactly how I'm feeling given this current circumstance, especially with everything going on in the world today. There's just so much unease, there's so much divisiveness, and there's a massive schism going on right now with all of us, and that doesn't sit well with me. You know, you got people who on the conservative side, you got people on the liberal side, you have people who are moderate. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is the human connection, and I've always been about that. I've always been about the human connection, and if you listen to any of my shows, you know that is paramount in anything that I do. What has me concerned is the separation of everyone not choosing to see that we are all interconnected, or at least in the dark about it and refusing to acknowledge that we are much better as a human species together than we are separate. Now, I'm not going to be on my soapbox too much longer, but I got into this business because I wanted to be able to reach you all. I got into this business because I felt all my years working as a therapist or working in human service that I had something to offer people that I couldn't do from behind a desk in an office on the ground floor. I felt that the next step I had to take was to be behind this microphone, and forgive me for using a secondary mic. I don't have my usual equipment because I'm about 24 hours away from going to Chattanooga for the Scenic City Invitational Tournament, SCI for short. But that is the main point of me getting behind this microphone is so I can talk to all of you and converse with you and meet you all. I mean, if you listen to last night's Indie Pop with me and Gabby, we had so much fun. And this is a person who I care for deeply as family. You know, she's one of my family. And if you mess with family, and I don't mean relations, you know, I don't mean people who are related by blood or by DNA. I'm talking about family who you know, if the chips were down, you'd be able to call on these people or someone like her to at least brighten your day with a smile. And there's a few more people out there like that, part of the Vessel fan, you know, and everybody has a role and a goal, and we fit from Trina to myself to Lost in Stereo Liz to Mikey to Gabby to everyone at Glory Pro, Kenway, everyone, Papa Hales, Dylan Hales, myself, everyone I've ever associated with, Hokai, Tim, and the like, you know, Rick Castle. But I'm able to converse with you all because I have this microphone in my hand. And it's, for me, my superpower. My superpower is to be able to communicate and effectively communicate. Because if I'm not good at that, then I must suck at the job. But I am getting so sick and tired of the divisiveness. And I don't know if it's people's ages. I don't know if it's because of who they're around. I don't know if it's because it's a lack of education or wanting to know another human being. But at what point did we get to the level of society where we don't care about other human beings' plights? Like, are we truly that self-absorbed? Have we become this look at me society, like all of us? Like, I'm confused, and I would love for you all to give me clarification on that. And you can always tweet me at Dare2BeDamian on Twitter and the show at Last Mark Podcast. But it's an epidemic, man. Case in point, I'm going to lose a few people here, but bear with me. The Colin Kaepernick situation with the NFL. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, one, where have you been? Because you don't need to follow football to know what's going on. He committed no crime, and yet he still remains unsigned by the NFL. And it came out today, according to multiple sources, that all the football brain trust of the Baltimore Ravens want to at least bring him in to talk to him about potentially joining their team as a backup quarterback, because their quarterback, Joe Flacco, is out for at least 3 to 4 weeks with an injury. But they were overruled. They're overruled by their ownership. The ownership of the Baltimore Ravens has told the football people, the people they have hired to run the football decisions, nope, can't sign him. He's apprehensive. Because, and here's the thing, I have talked to numerous people on this topic, some in sports, some out of sports, some just plain old regular guys like me or girls like me. But Steve, what's his name? Steve Biscotti, for him to go around and admit openly that he had to consult all these different types of people and then to say in a press conference, pray for us on making this decision whether or not to sign Colin Kaepernick to a backup quarterback role is ridiculous. It is ludicrous. It is, in my humble opinion, one of the dumbest things I have ever seen. And I know this goes deeper than on the field. I know this goes way past that. But don't give me any more, oh, it's because Colin had bad stats. Don't give me, oh, he's not good enough to play in the NFL. Bull crap. Tons of quarterbacks get a sniff, at least at a tryout. Why hasn't he gotten it? The man opted out of a $12 million contract for the San Francisco 49ers to be a free agent, thinking in this right market where someone like Mike Glennon can get so much money from the Chicago Bears, so he bet on himself. For what? For nothing, to not be doing what he enjoys doing, not being paid to do what he wants to do. Yes, he is an activist. Yes, he spoke out against police brutality. Yes, he kneeled during the national anthem. Damian's secret. When I stand for the national anthem, I don't take my hat off. And I tick my friend off with this a lot when we go to games together. I don't take my hat off. I don't remove my hat. For what? For what? Why is everyone so bent out of shape because he kneeled? People complain when Simone Biles didn't put her hand across her heart during the national anthem. I don't do that. Does that make me any less of an American because I don't do that? And then people are complaining that they desecrate the flag. It is cloth. It is not made of it is literally cloth. You can make a flag out of anything. But for some reason, people will staunchly stand behind America. Yeah, and Colin Kaepernick stood for America. He stood for those who are disenfranchised. I stand for those who are disenfranchised every day. Job number one. Newsflash, folks, I work with immigrants all day, every day. You think I pledge allegiance to people who put them down and try to bury them beneath their boot? You think I'm one of those people that abides by that law, that rule, where we have to hold people down because, heaven forbid, people have an opinion or a feeling that is different from ours? Man, look, I have friends who I know who have voted for Donald Trump in the past during the last election. I know plenty of people who voted for Hillary Clinton. Little Damian fact for you all, I voted for Bernie Sanders. I wrote him in. When I voted for the presidency this past November, I voted Bernie Sanders. I wrote him in myself. See, I don't care. I went off of who I thought was the best candidate. We are in a point almost of no return in this country. We don't care about people of color. We don't care about immigrants. We don't care about anything but ourselves. We don't care about our friends, our family. Oh, no, correction. We care. It seems that we care as humans. We care only if it suits us. I think that's the problem. We care only if it's in our wheelhouse, or if our friends care, we care. And that's okay. That is all right. You can do that. But in the world we live in when the NFL, when people are literally going online and expounding nonsense that says the reason why people stopped watching football was because of Kaepernick, and that's why the ratings were down, get out of here, man. Stop it. Get out of here. Stop it. No. See, I refuse to believe that. The person I am refuses to believe something like that. And if you're a fan of the Damian G podcast, if you're a fan of indie pop, if you're a fan of Last Mark Standing, then you know where I stand. I'm a human first. I don't care about what side of the fence you're on. I just care about mending the fence. Can we at least try to do that? Can we at least try to see the bigger picture outside of football, outside of sports, outside of wrestling? Can we do that for 2 minutes? And I know I'm asking for a lot. For most of the people out there, I'm asking for a lot. Man, if I ask certain people to give them a latte for a week, that's asking too much. But I know we have it in us. I have faith that we have it in us as people to overcome some things. And we're not going to get everybody on board, and I understand that. We're not going to save the world. But when I got into both these fields, broadcasting and human service, I made a promise. I made a promise to reach as many people as I possibly could, to try to mend fences, to try to help them on their way, to try to be there and support them in their time of need. So I'm done. I'm tired of the divide. I'm tired of the schism. I'm tired of the fissure that exists between all of us. Like I said, right, left, moderate, green, yellow, black, white, red, orange, any color in the rainbow. It doesn't matter what place of origin you live in. You are a human just like me. You breathe, you live, you bleed. And I'm getting really sick and tired of people looking at each other as if that's not the case. So that's where I stand on all this, man. And you can always tweet me if you disagree. And this is not going to rub people the right way. This is going to suck for a lot of people that are going to hear this. They're probably going to say, Damian, stop your bitching. Damian, stop your whining. But it's called like I see it, man. This whole Kaepernick thing is just a microcosm of what's going on in society. We want to keep down humans. We want to subjugate them. We want them to be beneath us. Why? Why do you want anyone beneath you? I can't, man. I can't deal with that. This is not my world. That is not the world I choose to grow up in. That is not the world I choose to eventually start a family in. That is not the world I choose to associate with. But instead of me being angry at people and eschewing them out of my existence, I'll do you one better. I'll listen to your story as to why you feel the way that you feel. What goes on in your head? What goes on in your soul? What goes on in your mind? So I'm opening the invitation to anyone listening right now. Anyone who listens to Damian G, anyone who listens to LMS, anyone who listens to Indie Pop. I am letting you guys know now. The invitations are open, the DMs are open, my emails are open. Let's have a conversation. And if you want to come on the show, if you want to come on the Damian G Show, if you want to come on Last Mark Standing, let me know. I'm all for it. I am all for having you all come on and shoot with me. Because we're not going to get anywhere unless we converse. We're not going to get anywhere without cooperation, and we're not going to get anywhere without listening, actively listening to one another and trying to figure this out together. That's my piece. This has been Damian G. You can find me on Twitter at DanceWithDamian. You can find the show at Last Mark Podcast, our Patreon page, because I do this and we get paid to do it, and we get paid because the public funds us. Patreon.com/lastmarkstanding. I love you, and always remember my tagline. Without you, there is no us. I'll see you next time.